Hello and welcome to another episode of Women of Abundant Wealth, where we're reestablishing the destinies that have been redirected. Today our topic is very near and dear to me, and it should be to you. The name of the show today is My Castle is Under Siege. Now what is that? What is that talking about? Do I really have a castle? Yes, you do. This is your castle. And in today's world, because of the way things are set up and the way technology has gotten, we do not get any exercise, any nutrition in our bodies like we used to. We don't get enough rest. So today I have on my show with me Rose Simmons, owner of Live Your Life Fitness in North Dallas, Texas. She is here today to talk with me and to explain to me and to you things that we can do to get our bodies back into shape. And not only that, the things that we should eat and should not be doing. She's also an accountability coach, and trust me, she will hold you accountable. She's also the lovely, lovely wife of Jeff Simmons, who supports her and stands by her, even though he has his own business. He supports his loving wife, and that's what it's all about here at Women of Abundant Wealth, is just pushing each other and edifying each other, even the men. So I would like to welcome to our show, Rose Simmons.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I am fabulous. How are you?
I am great. Now, you know here at Women of Abundant Wealth, we have made you the official fitness and nutrition business for this show.
Oh, okay.
If people ask us, we're going to send them to you.
All right, awesome.
Because I know it's been beneficial for me and for people that I know. I've visited your studio there in North Dallas, and I think it's wonderful. And not only that, that you're just a woman of God and you're listening to God for your business, and I've watched you flourish.
Yes, God gets the glory.
Yes, He does. Well, tell me a little bit about yourself. What is it that made you decide to go into fitness and nutrition?
Well, I am the mother of two beautiful boys, and I struggled with weight loss. After I had my second son, I was 220 pounds. So I went on a journey. I wanted to get to my goal weight of 150. And once I reached my goal, then I was encouraged to start a business, to start my own business, because I was doing a free fitness class in my neighborhood. We were just working out together, but I always seemed to head it off. Well, they started to encourage me. They was like, you need to go get certified for this. And I'm like, me? And they was like, yes, you need to go get certified. So I reached my goal weight. I went and got certified, and as soon as I received my certification, I launched my business. I didn't want to wait. So I launched my business. So we have now been going for 3 years now.
Oh, wow. I'm excited for you. You know, I'm a firm believer in that God can truly heal you, and He is willing to heal us. But there's some things that we got to do. I mean, He can heal us of diabetes and all kinds of ailments, but that doesn't mean once He heals us, we got to put the stuff back in us again. I mean, that would kind of defeat the purpose. So tell us some tips or some clues or some things to stay away from. Is there certain things that all people should stay away from, or is it individualized?
Well, if I could tell you to stay away from one thing, it would be trans fats. But that's where all the yummy stuff is. And the trans fats is going to be processed foods. So it's kind of hard to stay away from those. So when that case comes up, I always tell my clients portion control. Because even though I'm a trainer, I still eat. I eat, but I understand portion. And once you understand portion control, then you're able to maintain a healthy balance and a healthy weight. So I always tell everybody the palm of your hand or the fist of your hand, this is the size of your tummy. So if you eat your meats the size of your fist, your sides, the size of your knuckles, then that'll help you portion it out. And a lot of things people do is they get a standard size plate and they want to fill it up. Well, really what our tummies are made for, if you get a saucer plate and use the portions on that saucer plate, the saucer plate is full.
Wow.
That helps you maintain your weight. You're not hungry, but you won't be overly full either, what most people try to go for, but your stomach will be good.
I think sometimes it's like a mind thing, because you know, as a child, they give you these big plates and they say, eat all of your food. You're not leaving this table till you eat all your food. And in a way, now that I'm older and that I really think about it, it's kind of wrong, because it's kind of teaching us to eat wrong, to overeat, to really not watch portion control? Do you find yourself, because you are a mom, do you find yourself being a mom and a trainer also telling your kids not to eat this, not to eat that, or do you allow them just to eat regular?
I do try to portion them as well, but I do let them be kids because kids love candy, kids love a lot of sugar, so I just try to balance it and make sure they drink a lot of water, because that's one key to drinking things that are or eating things that are high in processed foods or high in sugar. If you drink like 16 ounces of water after that, it dilutes it so that your body is able to pass it through normal elimination faster. But it's one thing that I am guilty of. My mom, they used to do the same thing. They would fill our plate up and then they say, make sure you eat everything on your plate. But of course, they're only doing what they were taught. So that's why we're doing the same thing. So sometimes, and even my husband does it as well, we say, hey, eat everything on your plate, not realizing, hey, they're probably full right now. There's really no point to make them eat everything on their plate. But if you're doing a portion, for the most part, they're going to eat everything on their plate anyway. It won't be too much for them.
Well, I know I sure liked eating everything on my plate, especially when it was the things that I like.
Yes.
But let me ask you this question, because I know you had said something to me one time that was really important. I was telling you there's certain things that I crave for, and you was like, no, replace it with this. So is there a safe place or somewhere on the internet, or maybe people can ask their own doctors, if they're craving certain foods, is it good for them to replace it? Do they need to seek?
You can replace those things, because when you're craving something, that's because you're missing something. So that's why I like to get my clients started on a multivitamin, because multivitamins, minerals, is something that our body needs. And when we're lacking those things, that's when we start to crave other things. And chocolate is the #1 craver. And when you're craving chocolate, all you need is some vitamin C.
Oh, wow.
So
it's always a replacement. Whatever you're craving, there is something to replace it that you need.
yes.
Yeah, that is so exciting to me. So you can replace those things. You don't have to have those 50 cans of peppermints. You don't have to have that Snicker bar. You don't have to have those 20 cookies. We want you to eat and we want you to enjoy life. We're not trying to put rules and regulations on you, but we're trying to say that there is a better way to control your body's appetite and to maintain. You know, our bodies are the temple of the living God. Jesus lives here in our heart, and not only that, but we house the Holy Spirit. Now, can you imagine if the Holy Spirit had 5 steaks, 6 bottles of that energy drink, 50 cookies, or a bag of more than that sometimes, people do eat whole bags, 50 bags of potato chips, what would he be thinking? I mean, really, if he had a stomach and he was just, we choking him out. So we need to take care of our bodies. We need to take care of our minds. We need to take care of everything, because this is a temple. It's the only one that you have here on this earth. So take care of it. So let me ask you this, for the trainings, I know you have the supplements and you teach us about nutrition and fitness, but the trainings, how hard are the trainings? Say if I told you I did not have time to come, but I sat at an office 12 hours a day, are there things that I can do while I'm in the office?
Well, at Live Your Life Fitness, I teach and train all of my clients that when you're not with me, you should still be focusing on your fitness. So I always give my clients a challenge. And that's a challenge that they should be doing every single day, whether they struggle with sit-ups, whether they struggle with push-ups, or struggle with cardio. I give them a specific item to do, and they do it every single day. That's what helps hold them accountable and also helps them to get better in that area. There's always exercises that you can do any and everywhere. At Live Your Life Fitness, we're not a regular type gym. We are a studio. And for the most part, we use our own body weight. Our workouts are based off of strength and cardio. So you see the results a lot faster, and you see your strength increase a lot faster. So that's kind of what I give my clients, and I get a good feedback and a good return from that. They're really excited and they're really happy at the results that they see.
Okay, well, that's good. So your accountability side, what does that entail?
Well, at Live Your Life Fitness, again, I give my clients journals. So when they come to class, they're to bring that journal with them. And in that journal, they log their food intake and their exercise. So I check it off every time. If they don't have that journal when they come to class, that's 50 sit-ups. And that's whether you're in-home training, doing private training with me, or fitness classes. I hold you accountable with that journal.
Wow. You said something really important to me, which is really this is the thing that really brings it all home, even for health and fitness. We know that technology has caused us to sit behind desks, that kids don't get out and ride bikes anymore, skateboards. I mean, you see it, but not like it was when you and I were growing up. There's just so much stuff that has caused us not to be active, and it's really not good. And I've learned myself just to do different stuff. I'll park further from the grocery store. I'll do little stuff like that, although I don't want to, especially when it's raining.
Okay.
You know, but I will, because it is important to me. I want to be able to enjoy my grandson, you know. I want to be able to see him grow up, go to his games without, you know, huffing and puffing or taking an oxygen tank or just doing all the stuff that you really don't want to do. But in reference to all that with the technology and all that, there is a deeper, hidden, silent killer. And you said something very important to me. You said you were there to coach someone, but the coaching wasn't the problem. The eating wasn't the problem. There was a deeper problem. So you're not only there talking to people about health and fitness on the physical aspect, it's an emotional thing. There's something behind that that's causing us to overeat. Can you talk to us about that a little bit?
Yes. At Live Your Life Fitness, I can help you lose the weight. I can hold you accountable. I can motivate you, but I can't get you there. You have to have that mindset that you want to do this, that you are tired of being sick and tired, and you're ready. I don't have my clients do a yearly membership or things like that. They pay on a monthly basis, because that lets me know if you're paying on a monthly basis, that means you want this. I'm not pressuring you because you're paying, anything like that. It's because you want this. That's the type of clients that I look for, and the type of clients that I pray for, is someone who really wants to change. Because it's not about your money, it's about your results. And you have to be there where you're ready. Because my workouts, they don't love me during that hour, but they love me after.
Yeah, we love you. We love you. For now. But anyways, I know, because a lot of time my eating is related to something else. When I overeat, it is always related to a deeper issue for me. It's either I'm stressed out, or I'm just and most people do blame it on, oh, I didn't eat enough today, and so I'm overeating now. But mine is always if I'm stressed out, if I'm rushing, if I'm thinking about something else, if I'm trying to plan, organize, all that stuff. It's related to that, and it's not about wanting to fill my appetite. It's really an emotional issue that I had to get over in order for you to even get me to the point to want to lose the weight or to want to eat right. It was an emotional issue, and I believe that people are dealing with some stuff like that. Depression. Did you experience any of that when you had gained all that weight?
I didn't experience any depression. I'm one that my self-esteem has always been crazy. I used to call myself conceited until I got saved, and I was like, no, that's not a good look. But I've always believed, even when I was a size 16, I always thought that I was a size 6 in my head. And my husband used to tell me, you're not a junior, you need to be over there in the women's section. But I was like, if I could fit in it, I was gonna wear it, and that is not a good look either. But so I never struggled with depression, but I do have clients that do struggle with that. I've had clients that walk out on me because they're so mad at themselves for getting to that place. And it's not what got you here. You're here now. We need to work on it so that you can have a better you. I always tell my clients, this right here is just temporary. Don't even dwell on it. It's temporary. Where we're going to get you to, your future self, that's what you want to focus on. Just know that you're doing the right things to get you there. Life happens. Life happens for me. I fall off, but I get back on, because the only person that's holding you accountable is yourself. But we try to put everybody else in it. We're like, okay, I want to look like that person. I want to look like this person. Well, your size healthy is a different size than that supermodel on the magazine. I had to get to the point where I threw out all the magazines and just focused on me. What's my happy? What's my healthy? And my doctor said that I am ridiculously healthy.
Wow, that's good.
And, you know, if you look at society, I'm overweight for my height. So it's all about finding you're happy, you're healthy, you can still have your curves, but we can control our health, and that's something that you can do. But if you keep going to food for your answer, food is meant only for energy. That's all it's really meant for. We put so much other things behind it, but it's only meant for energy. And once you can understand that you only need just enough to get to the next 2 hours, because we should be eating every 2 to 3 hours. So as long as you understand that, hey, I just need enough to get me to last these next 2 hours, then you refuel again, versus putting so much on food that I have to have this, I have to have that. You giving food too much power.
Wow. Now, do you see a trend like in our time, and we're not really that old when I say our time, so,
Okay.
you know, I'm not trying to put us back there, but in our time, you know, there was a trend that you had to be a certain size. Even, you know, in Hollywood, you had to be this way to model, you had to be this height, this way. Do you still see a trend of that going on, even in the younger girls today? Do you still see a trend, and what do you say to parents or to the young girls to stop that trend? Because we do know that some trends can become very dangerous. I mean, just because you're thin does not mean that you're healthy. And
Correct.
just because you're fat doesn't mean that you're sick.
Correct.
So do you still see a trend that keeps repeating itself through generations?
I do. I still see a trend, and especially when diseases like diabetes, people say that run in their family when that's not the case. If I went off of what my ancestors have done, then I could say diabetes runs in my family. I'm diabetes free. So I do see that trend, and I see that most of the time people are using that as an excuse for them to do what they do or to be how they are versus change. Nobody wants to change because that means you have to grow. You have to be stretched a little bit. Nobody wants to do that. You know, it's a very rare community that you can find those type of people that will stretch and grow. Like I said, I've been doing this for 3 years, and I've had so many clients that will not last past 90 days because it's a mind thing. And if you're so used to doing things one way and you start to change and you feel the progress, you see it happening, but then you slip up, then you start to flip back, well, I'm just not meant to do this, or I'm just not meant to be a size this or a size that. Once again, everybody's size is different. Everybody's healthy is different. It doesn't matter your shape, size, or figure. You can be healthy and you can be a fitness instructor.
But they probably don't want me to be a fitness instructor.
But it doesn't matter. So it's all about just finding deep inside and being happy with yourself that, hey, I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for my children. I'm doing this for my grandchildren. Because I do want to pass this on to my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren. I want them to know that, hey, my great-grandmother, she knew that we could be healthy. She knew that diabetes didn't have to run in our family, or high blood pressure didn't have to run in our family.
Wow.
So,
well, this is what I tell people. And my kids be like, Mama, they didn't really ask you for that. And I'll be like, well, I'm giving it to them anyway. That's an extra. I'm not even going to charge them for you.
Okay.
You know? I'll say, well, the blood of Jesus runs in my family.
okay.
And I did
Yes.
tell that to a doctor one time when I took my son to the hospital. And he was like, well, what runs in your family? I said, the blood of Jesus runs in my family. There's no impurities. There's nothing in there that can cause anything. So his blood is fine. It was like, ma'am, I understand that, but can you please tell us what runs in your family? And needless to say, he really didn't want to deal with me anymore. But it's true. I'm not claiming any of these sicknesses on myself, my kids, my friends, my family, nobody, not even strangers, because it doesn't have to be that way. It's not even planned to be that way.
Right.
And for some reason, we got it in our mind that it's okay. It's okay. And we hear, oh, diabetes is the norm. No, it's not the norm.
Right.
It may be the norm of what you're seeing, but it's not the norm. Oh, this and that, that's the norm. Oh, well, you're not going to find any really good foods. Well, you know, we don't have time to eat or cook. So what do you tell people that say they don't have time to cook and they do have to buy these processed packaging food? I know that's one of your pet peeves, but what do you tell people that really don't have time, but I'm sure there's something?
You have time. It's about plan and preparation. If you do meal prep, like on Sundays, we do meal prep, cook the chicken, we cook the veggies. There's all different seasonings out there where you can change it up so it's not the same. But if you meal prep your foods and have it prepared for the week, then you're good to go. You don't have that excuse that you didn't have time because it's already done. And then there are so many recipes out there now. There's no excuses. There's so many recipes. And at Live Your Life Fitness, I like to do the learning part because my motto is learn, live, and be fit. And so I will be doing seminars and workshops on different recipes and on portions and nutritions so that people can learn it, because it is an education process. Most people just think it's expensive to live healthy or it's expensive to eat healthy, and it's not the case. You just buy it all in bulk when you go buy processed food, and it just sits in there longer. Yes. Versus if you go shopping every week buying healthy foods, you have to eat it within that week and then you're shopping again. It's just a whole different routine. It's not that it costs more. It balances out to be the same.
Wow, and that's good. And plus the bonus part is you get family time.
Yes.
And that is really key, because if your family is not involved in your fitness and your nutrition, isn't that kind of hard for you to kind of eat right if everybody else in the house is eating all crazy?
It is, and I'm going to tell you, when I first started on my health journey, everybody in the house had to eat what I ate because I wasn't strong enough. I wasn't strong enough to not eat off the kids' plate or not to eat off my husband's plate after I fixed it, you know. So everyone had to eat what I ate. But after I was strong enough, it didn't bother me. It didn't bother me that I couldn't have that or eat that. But now that I'm at maintain stage, I don't have to worry so much about what I'm putting on my plate. I have to worry about what's coming out. So it's not so much that I have to really focus on what I'm eating. I just have to focus on how much, because I'm not at the weight loss stage right now. I'm just at maintain.
Okay.
But it's different stages with the maintain and the weight loss.
Okay, and what's the difference between that and
when
you're
doing weight loss, you have to focus on what you're putting in. Because if you're coming to see me, you don't want to eat a cheeseburger because all we're going to be working off is a cheeseburger. You want to eat something light that you've worked off before you got to me. We want to work on the stored fat when we're working out. Versus if you're eating bad things, then it's going to be hard to get that stuff off. So with weight loss, it's all about what you're eating, what you're putting in. So whatever comes in, you want to make sure that it's going out very quickly. Versus with maintain, you have a little leeway. You can have a little extra cookie here and there because when you go work out, you're going to work off what you just ate. You're not working off stored fat because you're not focusing on your stored fat. You're just working off what you just put into your system.
Wow. Now, do you usually tell your clients, okay, you're at maintain stage now, you're okay, you got some leeway, or do they decide?
Well, to be honest with you, right now I have one client that's at maintain stage.
Okay.
And so, and she's so consistent, it's ridiculous. Like, I can set my agenda by her. She will be at her session when she says, and she is by the book on what I ask her to do. But she'll tell me, hey, this week I'm maintaining, or this week, hey, I need to drop about 2 pounds. So we'll go like that. But for the most part, majority of my clientele is on weight loss. So I try not to even get them confused and try not to tell them about the maintain right now so they can focus on weight loss.
And I know you go to different churches and organizations teaching people. I know you taught a class at your church, the lovely Bishop Speller and his wife.
Yes,
lovely
ma'am.
people, love those guys.
Yes.
So tell about the class that you taught there.
Well, I'm a member of House of Faith Community Church in Plano, Texas, and I did a class on nutrition, portion, and rest. And it was amazing the feedback that I had gotten from that. I mean, it's the education piece. Like, you can come work out with me all day long, but if you don't understand the nutrition, the portion, and the rest, then you're still missing. You're still missing some things. So it was very important, and it was very needed, and I thank God that he used me to help the church.
Wow. And I thank God that we have people like Bishop Speller that is, promoting health in his community there and fellowship there. It is really important because we can get the word of God, and that is good, and we need it, but there are